Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is October 28th. Today I'm going to speak on a more philosophical concept, the idea that you should be formless. There are two main sources of inspiration that I have for this idea. One is from a Bruce Lee quote where he emphasizes the idea that you should be formless and shapeless like water. Water can fit whatever vessel it is put into, and therefore it is adaptable. The second source of inspiration for this philosophy for me is Robert Greene in his 48 Laws of Power. Law 48 is literally assume formlessness. In that law, he emphasizes the need for being open, being adaptable, being on the move, to be fluid and formless like water, just like Bruce Lee said. And he drives the point home by stating, never bet on stability or lasting order, everything changes. And in this modern world, that holds true just as it did 50 to 100, 2,000 years ago. For many people, life can be incredibly unstable, and becoming too rigid in our plan, in our personality, and our identity means that we are not able to adapt and adjust to differing situations that have different needs, and ultimately that makes us weaker and makes it more difficult for us to succeed. With jobs being insecure as they are, with relationships ending, with the rise of new technology, it's unlikely that people are going to stay in one job, stay in one relationship, stay in one city, stay in one household or apartment. Life is constantly changing, evolving, and adjusting. And therefore, one of the best things that we can do is to assume that formlessness. For myself, despite the fact that I work as a teacher, I've worked very hard to not integrate into my mind that that is my identity, that I identify as a teacher. I've always tried to first and foremost identify as a human, and that allows me to also understand and see my students as humans first, rather than just students in my classroom. And with my own formlessness, it allows me to entertain new ideas, new ways of being, such as doing a YouTube channel, such as potentially changing careers. It allows me to not stick in that dynamic of teacher versus student, where I'm trying to do something and my students are opposing what I'm trying to do. When I stay in this formless mindset of I'm just a person, I try to understand what the people in front of me are doing, and it allows me to better adapt my strategies for different classes, for different students. By not latching on to a certain identity, to a certain state of being, we open ourselves up to new methods and modes of operating in this world. If I had a very rigid mindset on what it means to be a teacher, and that I am a teacher, and that teaching happens in person, I would never have attempted to start this YouTube. And in doing so, through the help of many students and many people, this community has grown to almost 400 subscribers, which I think is great. In pursuing this new form, it has allowed me to focus on skills that I wouldn't have in my profession had I just stuck with my rigid identity of being a teacher. And with this philosophy, when it talks about taking the shape of the vessel you're put into by not having a visible plan, it helps us to remain fluid to whatever changes are going on in our life. When you create a strict narrative in your head about who you are, what you like, it leaves you very fragile for when change happens dramatically or when change happens overnight. And for anyone who's lived long enough, you know that things can fall apart very suddenly, things can change rapidly. Your family status, your relationship status, your job status, your financial status, all of these things can change very rapidly, and it can take a great deal of time, energy, and mental strain to adjust. But if you just have a formless mindset that regularly operates in the background, you can accept when life takes you from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. You can accept when there's a 2-degree shift or a 20-degree shift. And by not sticking to one solid identity, one solid game plan or path, it allows you to go on an adventure it allows you to go on this adventure in life where you are discovering what is best for you and where do you best fit in this world. It allows you to remain adaptable to changing the dynamic of relationships in your life with family, friends, intimate partners, children, parents, whatever it is. It allows you to remain open about who you are and what type of work you do so that you can adapt and adjust. And I think in essence, being formless allows you to stay young in a sense, because you sort of have to have a curious and open mindset to be formless. And if you have curiosity and you're open to new ideas, every year, every decade of life can introduce you to new ways of being and new ways of doing things. And when you look back over 10, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, whatever it is, you'll discover that you've tried so many different things, you've been so many different people, and it helps you to settle into a solid sense of who you are and yourself, which isn't the rigidity that both Bruce Lee and Robert Greene are discussing, but having this very strong understanding of who you are allows you to have the confidence to continue remaining formless and adapting to circumstances. That's it for today. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned in for the next 2 days of this challenge. Take care.